Chat'i biraz açalım bakalım. Enerji ne durumda?
Well, that's it for BBL. Attack side.
AC.
Look, there's certainly some opportunities for them to take their utility and do
something
right away. Sociable with early pick, baiting out an Astra Star.
Çok iyi kill.
Firing back in the other direction. Now they look towards the A site. Already one man to the good. The site under heavy threat. It's going to have to be one side again. Put a stop to this. He might even decide to just
güzel Levin, aferin oğlum. İyi trade. Smoke'umuz yok ama.
Damage done onto Loon, at least he's a little bit low.
4 ve 2 canlarımız çok az ya.
Something that Cloud might just try and bait out so that it's not going to affect them when it comes to
B'ye gidiyoruz. Vur lan.
48
3 ve 3 canlar çok az ya. Bak vursa var ya. Bir şekilde.
You know, 3v3 spike planted seems good for BBL. Like you said, it's the HP. Look how quickly Yumpy's dropped. It was a headshot as well. A clean way to put him out of the round. Sociable hope for the same, but the shot doesn't land. Loon, just 31 HP. You can't expect a lot from this man. Utility not there either. This guy's just got a ghost, making ghosts of his opponent. Cloud already down. Gate crash, I don't think is where he wanted it to go. Fake TP, not going to do much. Already tapped once. They should be worried at this point about it being stuck, swinging out, confirming it's not Loon.
Nice! Nice!
Well,
aferin lan Sociable. Çok iyi oyundu. Lev, bravo oğlum sana, bravo. 30 canla neler yaptı ya.
This is the thing. You had the last map where you had yourself a single Turkish duelist and you went, you know what, that hasn't worked out. Let's choose the one that sounds like a Sentinel and put it onto the second one because, yeah, Sociable and Loon basically just won that one off firepower. I'm not going to talk about, oh yeah, Vax insane.
Oğlum Lev, aferin lan, aferin lan.
It was like, who hit the most headshots? The 2 Turkish players.
That'll get you rounds, let me tell you. Many people have found that out the hard way. GX. The latest name added to the list. An attempted mid push from the defensive side, but they are walking into a flash. Has been used up a little bit early from back. Good for him to clear the control, but now he's seen that they're there.
Kaç.
Being cautious and won't be caught off guard by this squad. Running it back and leaving a wall that if one of them runs through, I'll be isolated.
Nice oğlum, çok iyi bak. Aferin oğlum. Aferin, çok iyi. Duvar çok iyiydi. Ne yapıyor bunlar? Ne yapıyor bunlar? Soshi B'yi almış bile. Ah, timing'e bak. Çok iyi. Ay. Tamam, salalım. 15 can. Arkadaşların gelsin. Geldiler. Aman üst geldi. Aman üst geldi.
And that's the thing, I think you're on this map in the past. I remember Ethan playing it a fair bit. It was massively enjoyable with how much
çok iyi, bravo.
The flashes that you get alongside
Bravo.
And it also just allows your duelist player to almost earn a few style points here and there. For BBL, maybe there was a moment in the early fights that this could have slipped away from them, but it is looking like a very easy round.
Limited threat with just Tamazi left. About as good of a start as she could possibly hope for. Loon with a chance to find a little something. And instead he got an orb. Bullet swinging towards him. That's ult, I believe, online for next. We're very close to. Maybe he was 2 away, but I thought 1. Tamazi.
Bravo. Çok iyi Profek.
2-0 we go. BBL is not quite flawless, but it'll do.
Lev'nin ultisi geldi değil mi? Doğru. O yüzden koştu. Çok iyi.
I think the unfortunate part of this round is that we didn't really see too many kills go the way of Sociable. Obviously that tour de force is the major value, as you mentioned. Having that dimensional drift online, the amount of space that can be taken to set up Sociable, who has been given that rifle and has now had it taken away. I guess maybe having a few other ideas of what they're going to be doing.
The distribution changing as we go. Purpo right up in their face. Won't find anybody to take down, and the space taken by BBL's in the other direction. They've moved through Art already, spotted one. They know there's been a push up towards A main as well. Good information to play with, but converting the kills with these weapons may be a different story. Runner quickly puts Sociable to bed. But take a look at where the spike is, still sitting outside of the A site. It hasn't committed just yet, and they are keen to
Oğlum ne
take this in
oluyor
another
ya?
direction, having pulled some
3 boyutlu
rotations.
satranç oynanıyor şu an.
They've got some
Abi timing'e bak.
space, and you can see the defense now looks to try and push, but bear in mind
Ah,
this is the player
bir can.
that has
Profek!
spike. It doesn't matter though. Again,
Çok
Profek
iyisin lan,
shines
çok
when they
iyisin
need it
be.
to. He falls. That's the spike in the defender's hands. You're retaking it with weak weapons. Instead, there's now 2 guns on the
Çok
floor.
önemli iki kill de.
He's still got his sniper rifle, and they're even clearing out utility across the map. The defenders have no
döndürüyoruz.
idea where they're going.
The only good thing is that Westside was close by. When the turret went down, he immediately fills in the space. He sees that nobody is here. That's going to mean the A players don't over-rotate. They don't panic and go to the B side. Instead, they're still sat here, waiting for this push to inevitably come through. BBL not expecting to see so many numbers after
Nice.
dropping runner. They might
3-2.
think that it's nice and open, that it's free, but now they know it's not. Tamazi
Yampı
doing
çöz.
more damage.
Yampı
Profek
çöz.
to 45, and a 2v2 steps her.
Çok iyi oğlum.
And Yumpy caught Westside off guard
2v1.
completely. The damage
Çok iyi
done
ulti.
now may
Çok
not matter
mantıklı.
as much.
Çok
As it's
mantıklı.
Tamazi who has to make a move through this wall. He may even have just been spotted. I just saw a ping go down. They know where he is. They know where he's coming from. And they've hit him. Profek with a
Ne yapıyor
full
amına
piece.
koyayım?
This was a big feature of a lot of
Helal
those
olsun
rounds towards
Profek.
the end of Haven.
Aferin lan sana.
And he stepped up to do it again.
3-0.
3-0
Bonusu da aldık.
start for BBL.
Kürdüm
Yeah, he's
monitörü amına
looking
koyayım.
like a fantastic signing. I don't think there's any doubt about it. The fact that this was 2 players with rifles looking to try and take him out, and he wins that battle with the sniper, the individual skill there, but then also
Çok iyi oğlum,
being
çok
able
iyi.
to reposition late into the round for that ultimate and just hold on in the end. Like, it seems like a safe pair of hands in so many scenarios where rounds could slip away.
Keline
if
tükürüp
not.
temizledik.
6-1 right
Haydi,
now.
haydi,
for
haydi.
Astra. Not a bad start for
Disiplin.
BBL as they've put GX down to weak by yet again. Couple of sheriffs alongside a judge, the best that they could muster to try and challenge. And as you can see, looking at the minimap, quite a lot of their focus is going to be around the other side of the map. 2 groups of 2 set up on A and mid, and the B site, where BBL are walking up, is a little bit light in terms of defense. Only Purpo.
Armorları falan hiç yok doğru düzgün ya.
An oversight
Ya şu Purpo,
on the part of BBL if he's able to get too
Purpo
much
çok
here.
korkutuyor ya.
It is a bit of an off angle, and now has at least a little bit of support. Tamazi also going to try and do the
Gördü,
same.
gördü.
Hold a bit of a cross, but he has been spotted. Getting out of here
Bir can ya.
should be impossible, and for Tamazi, he's basically just trying to
Çok iyi.
play that sort of snake in the grass, but he's also
Çok
been
iyi.
spotted by the drone.
Verme, kill verme.
At least get one, and actually,
Oğlum ne oluyor?
they're making this one competitive.
Ve
The
bir
pistols
kanka.
working out maybe when they shouldn't, and now it's left all up to Sociable, and he can't find the shot. It's going to be the pay save card thrifty for GX.
verdik ya.
The round that said came down to blunders.
Remarkable stuff for GX. Look, your opponents can make all the mistakes that they want. You still have to hit those shots. You've still got to deliver it. They most certainly did. This push out from BBL.
Sova
They have
oku
the
mahvetmiş
flash, the
oğlum
reveal, the
bizi.
kills that come with it, but somehow Westside Profek putting up numbers. Sorry, Westside Profek returns.
Ne?
But it just doesn't
Ya
matter.
hadi git
Players
ya.
like Cloud, who we've
Hadi
already
git
talked
ya.
about in the first map. But it seems like it's been a while since we've had to really bring him up. But that is a return
Vuruşa
to
bak amına
form for
koyayım.
him. 3-piece up on the board. GX finally finding one. This should have been a big lead for BBL. Instead, it's put to bed early.
Seems like a lot of what the plan is from Sociable's perspective is just almost counter any aggression. Don't allow this defense to garner information, and then with the potential to reposition on Loon, have quick fakes with the smokes of Astra, and almost just sell the idea that they're going in the other direction again. We're going to see those vines placed into the back of B to try and hold players on that side of the map. And in the meantime, the lurking operator of Sociable is going to make his move towards A.
Nobody to catch off, but the steps away.
Jumpy.
That's all that they need to hear.
Ay.
Knowing that this A side is now undefended, but Purple has stepped back in. For just a moment, he left that site, but gets in time to drop back. One player down, great
Onu vur.
utility
Çok iyisin
removed
lan Lem.
from BBL.
Aferin oğlum, aferin.
Loon is here to put up a fight and equalize the numbers.
Şu short'tan gelen var. Short'tan geleni vurmamız lazım.
Plays ahead of that. You have the advantage made by Purple, and you've given it right back up to the duelist. Now you watch
Nice lan Soshi. Soshi arka geldi oğlum. Jumpy.
Eventually there's a trade from Tamazi, but he sort of left isolated from the rest of the
Nice.
players. Yumpy
Tamam,
finds
güzel.
that one
Sıkıntı
all
yok,
too
sıkıntı
easy.
yok.
Prophet does the same. It started
Olur,
okay
olur.
considering this ruse that was sold. Even using Hunter's Fury to fake
Soshi
out
çok
that
iyi oynadın
B-side.
be oğlum.
It didn't matter though when, I just think Cloud was a little bit too far ahead of everyone else. And that gives that fight back in. And, well, once you have that 4v4, everybody can just fall back and play these post plants.
Yeah, I think just the fact that he'd thrown out the recon, the timing of it makes him think, okay, I can take that little peek, I'll grab one, fade back, and we're back in.
Bravo çocuklar. Hadi 4-1 çok iyi.
Ekolar
daha korkutucu ek olmaları.
Most of the time, but less and less over the last map and a half now for BBL. They lose one and they're right back to winning ways. 4-1, full buy up, ult for Sociable in the back pocket, but
çok iyi lan, bravo lan. Oy! Çok iyi çocuklar.
Himself and Profek, real highlights of this team in this series. Certainly in the last map, Profek taking a lot of the attention away from Loon towards the end. Seeing that many players fighting for the top spot of BBL, showing their teeth early on, it's a promising sign for the season that may be ahead of the squad.
Yeah, because again, a lot of the players that they signed were not like, you're not going for someone who has mass VCT experience.
Ay timing'e bak. Profek'in yediği timing'e bak kanka.
Everybody else has been in the tier 2 or something of the sort.
All right.
For now at least. Profek, Loon especially are showing that they definitely got firepower to go with it, especially against a team that should have that in masses. Another
tokat attı oğlum. Profek tokat attı.
I'm really enjoying that. As I said, that middle control, a lot of teams, especially on low buy rounds, want to have that as a point of contention. You're like, okay, we've got pistols, we can get right up in their face early, then we have space to try and flank them on either side of the map.
Çok iyi, 5-1.
They have denied that every round, be it with a sociable operator or in this case a 1-2 punch. Before they had Vac, who was playing passive with the wall to defend himself. It's every single time, it's a slight change, but that means that if GX push it, they have no idea what they're walking into.
Profek 11 kill.
GX are going to go pushing this time. We've seen this before. Purpo.
Aynen, hemen bu taktiğe geçelim. Anlamsız hareketler yapalım beyler.
Quite a bit of HP down.
Yok mu?
The op on Sociable.
Ay dudağından vurdu, dudağından.
Sociable rips his head off and goes for the B site. Tomazi though is still here.
Tomazi yapar. Yapar, Tomazi yapar. Şımarır. Geldi, çocuklar geldi. Backup geldi.
As we can see, BBL's Sociable has waited for the cavalry.
So it has Tomazi. He now has Cloud. It's a trade of drones. At least a little bit of information, and Tomazi's going to try and make a play through.
Sushi! Yapma lan Profek.
Absolutely none of them. We're going to see the ult thrown out from Vice to remove any remaining weaponry, but well, there's nobody there to remove it from. It gives them that site for free. And after plant all too easy, and that was something that was always difficult when it came to this B site. Once it gets into post,
CT'ye döndü yalnız şeyle, Purpo'yla Cloud.
Yeah, and someone like Loon sticking up close, kind of trying to root him out of position. That's what the Hunter's Fury was supposed to do, but it didn't land. He's managed to sidestep it, go undetected.
Çok iyi lan.
But then Loon strikes.
Direkt imdada yetişti ya.
Çok iyisin oğlum be. Cloud may decide to go and save.
Cloud hadi oğlum. Hadi.
Out of here to the A site.
6-1.
Left in the dust, RGX. This is a 6-1
Ultisi geliyor bu arada Lem.
BBL. They may have lost their last or their map pick. The last map in overtime. This map doesn't seem to have any signs of being quite as close of a competition.
No, and the worrying thing as well is that a lot of what got GX back into those games were like, okay, they had a big round, maybe a low buy or an individual play. They did have that, but it just seemed to go straight back to regular programming from the side of BBL. Like, they didn't really break a sweat. And I am liking just the way that I feel like even though there have been attempts by GX to isolate Sociable, he's been so dynamic in where he's been playing. They haven't caught him. Like they said, they tried those mid pushes. He was there the previous round. You go, okay, he's
olur Profek, düşme oğlum. Olur öyle şeyler.
And he's just
happens.
headshotted your sentinel who's
Happens sometimes.
Just jump spotting. He's currently 8-4 and he has been sort of a classic sentinel in the fact that he's alone. But he's playing a chamber. He doesn't have himself like a camera or
Kiosle ile 101. ayın kutlu olsun kardeşim, hoş geldin. Ahmet Anzara 71 aydır. Siferus 102. ayı. Çok teşekkür ederim, hoş geldiniz.
Yeah, between himself, between Profek leading the charge on this server and then knowing that they've got
Ulan chat bir de dediniz ki neyse şimdi bir şey demeyeceğim. Susuyorum. Maçı izliyorum. Sustum. Hiçbir şey demedim ki. Hiçbir şey demedim. Güzel bir maç izliyoruz. Çekişmeli.
It's not looked like that at all. If anything, the struggles have come on players that are much more used to their roles. You're talking about Purple and Westside. They are in their element, but it doesn't seem that way, at least for now. We said that about Purple before, and he had that comeback already though. Tour de force, an instant shot, press. Oh no!
Oğlum neler oldu orada kanka? 7 can gene bak kafayı yerim ya. Tuttırırım ya. Neyse bıçağı yok, hiçbir şey yok. Silah da alamadı. Olur olur. Keşke direkt shotgun'ı çekseydi lan. Len çok büyük alan aldı. Aa bura dikkat, bura dikkat. Nice oldum sana, bravo lan.
Gentleman's agreement, man. We saw the handshake in the bathroom before, and you know, fair play. But for BBL,
in the bathroom,
a 7th round seems to be coming, and I think
Oy Profe, bravo lan.
seem to have what it takes to stop it.
Bir can
Across the board, post plant that they're fighting into, already lost another player in the form of Westside. Someone who's been able to deal that damage in a lot of these late rounds, but now he is down in the dirt runner.
7-1.
Well, I'm not even sure what the plan is here. You don't want to go and say that, do you? Maybe go down to the spike. He could do with some orbs. They've got orbs as well. See if he can pick something up. Is there a weapon?
Su içelim buyurun.
Big old weapon on the floor there to retrieve. He might just get out of here with that.
You can see how much they're almost being conditioned by the aggression of Loom, by the fact that that gun wasn't even in the open.
He's 100 HP.
Still scared. Well, there you go. Yumpy realizing, okay, I can actually have a slight upgrade here. Sociable will likely buy back into the operator anyway, so he's going to get himself that extra rifle. 7-1 up. Did we need a replay of this?
No, I can categorically say we did not need a replay of this, but thank you for embarrassing the players nonetheless. Yeah, a 7-1 lead is a tough pill to swallow. And then you look at the economy, right? What's your way back in? You have to win so many rounds before BBL will be money hungry. Right now, credits-wise, we're coming into this round with more than 7K on 4 players. To make BBL take an eco is going to be difficult to say the least. Ults for GX are not there. A lot of them have been used in the last couple of rounds to no effect in terms of affecting the round score, you know? This is tough. Loon goes for it all by himself. Almost killed that man through smoke, which is ridiculous. He keeps on doing this, dancing around.
Geldi arkadan Thomas'ı.
As teammates have arrived, but just too little, too late. Yumpy trying to get him to help the youngster instead has dropped the spike in the open.
Disiplinden kopmayalım.
Good opportunity.
Olur.
For the side of GX to capitalize
Ulan ya.
There's no omen.
Yardım çok geç geldi, evet.
An agent that was played almost religiously throughout last year, but Astra
Thomas'ı gene sola mı geçti?
Evet. And if anything now, it does come down to mistakes. You can see what utility is actually available. Prophet might be able to make them some space with the ult, and they are going to invest it here. Try and get into position to catch out Tomazi. The rest of them are still on the other side, but the time is ticking.
Bravo.
Oh, nice try from Tomazi to hide, but yeah, they've gotten up close now. Spike retrieve, plant coming through. No one wants to step into that wall, and now Spike planted, they'll run away. Take the range, and Sociable setting himself up with the operator. Purpo's done the same though, and he's caught an angle on the back. Sociable returns the shot, but it's Profect to do it all. 2 players lined up. He's got the op. He's going to look to pick them off, but Purpo's first on the trigger.
Nice try, olur. Sıkıntı yok. Gayet iyiydi.
And a second round as a result of their efforts.
Yeah, I think a lot of that though, I don't know if it's going to be recreatable. That was Loon basically dancing around 2 opponents going down, and then I think Yumpy falls trying to help him a little bit too late. Like those are mistakes from BBL.
Şuradan ikisinden birini vursa almıştır ya.
Will be too recreatable. It's good for them to be back on the board though. Even just that little bit of a confidence booster get that economy popping a little bit more. Purpo will keep himself the op for the next round, although no doubt we're seeing the same purchase on the other side. And well, after winning 4 rounds in a row in fairly clean fashion, the finances of BBL are very good at this stage.
And the reality is, Loon does that again, he probably kills 3 people. So it is going to be very difficult to repeat that kind of a result. BBL had an all-in play that relied on Loon or a Loon opening or Yumpy trading. Neither of those things happened. They're in a massive uphill battle as a result.
Mind Games mi yapıyor burada?
Around, though, the early work won't be quite as easy.
Çok mu late kurman ya Soshi?
They've got to go find their own opportunities. The operator in the hands of Purpo. You have to hope there'll be utility in play. A drone perhaps from Yumpy that's fired through to clear that angle. If they dry peek it, they're in trouble.
I think they expected aggression. Like, Sociable was pretty much just watching, and it is the bait. The run out. Perfectly timed from the side of BBL, knowing where that man was all Sociable needed. As said, this chamber op from him has been fantastic so far. The rest of the team looking to try and get back in, but again, we see those mines put into place, running through them. Does damage, but also the slows is just not worth the risk. And now they have to try and retake this 4v5, but they do have themselves a lockdown. That's the one saving grace.
There it is, put into play on
Evet, bu ultiyi nasıl yapalım?
The idea here, though, catch those players as they fade back towards long. Surely, look who's stepping up, though. Sociable is walking in for the kills. He's got the TP to get out, and he might be caught by it in the end. It looks like he will, too. In fact, picked up. But they've got cover. They're behind the wall.
Geriye getirdi kanka. Ha, getiremedi.
Already stopped with the grab well in play.
Ya,
the
Cloud
kills
anasının...
go to Cloud as all 5 are found. Leading by example with an ace under his belt. GX continue to close the gap.
There could have been so many players in
Bir
this
replay
game
izleyebilir miyiz ya?
Ace in VCT EMEA 2025, and no other than Cloud, someone who I'm sure has been up there before in the statistics. This was one they desperately needed. The hero plays as his teammate looks to defuse, and again, it comes right down to the wire for the side of GX, but a couple of rounds like that, that's exactly what I'm talking about from their side. Get the blood pumping. We've already seen them do exactly this.
Kanka. Gaza gelmemeleri lazım ya.
Win them out, go to overtime, and just close it.
I think we've never heard Runner get that loud before. I heard his mic peak. We had the wrong compressor on. We'll have to reprogram now. He was hyped up. He was ready to go. Purpo, nice shot onto the head of Loon.
Ne olur 3 numaraya vursa yoru saçlarını.
His hair. I think he would have survived that, but hey, listen, Sage players relate. 7-3, 2 rounds left to play for in this half.
Soshi, bravo.
BBL, despite the opening pick going the other way, they're still getting aggressive. The operator of Sociable, again, opening up these fights, getting so aggressive. He's now creeping up onto their spawn. Not the usual position you'll see your operator play in, but probably the usual position you'll see Sociable in.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, I feel like usual and his gameplay don't really go within the same sentence.
He's here so fast.
He's already managed to bypass the utility that was meant to delay him. Obviously, the rest of the team are looking to try and get there alongside. Westside, a much more passive stance. He has been struggling so far in the defense of this side already.
Eyvah.
Ha
tamam bizimkiymiş lan. Ay onu da vurdu. Helal lan Yumpy. Bravo oğlum. 4v3.
Yeah, it's big too. That utility that's on long now no longer in play for the GX side. 3 versus 4.
So worried.
Disadvantage. Utility stripped. A shock dart from Cloud, the drone to come up and at least spot back, but he's moved out of that position. Goes through in time for Cloud to connect. Shot from Purpo is good. Sociable's aggression is punished. No util for quite a while. He'll have to go swinging, and Purpo more than happy to hold the angle. Yumpy is going to be in the same boat. Straight into the op he goes. They forced their opponent's hands, and as a result, GX find another round. 7-4. One round to play for him. What was an abysmal start to this map becomes pretty doable towards the end. This could be a neck-and-neck conclusion, or thereabouts.
This seems to be a theme for Purpo at least. Another start where I think he was like 2-7. He's now back to 9-9, having a couple of really big rounds for the squad. This was just delaying that re-aggression, and having the ultimate on Runner was everything. Like, you know, otherwise there's shot darts, especially the grab wall. That's the big one. You can move people out of awkward positions. The stars were basically kept or recalled by Prophet to be in that scenario, and you deny all of it.
It's fair to say BBL caught their opponents off guard a bit with the comps that they brought in today. It took GX a while to adapt to what's going down. Even the early fight's still going BBL's way. It's a great sign seeing GX able to recover from disadvantages, able to fight their way back into some of these rounds. And look at Ace under Cloud's belt just a few rounds ago certainly helps out. Reveal is good. Players spotted. Yumpy is right on them, hot for the kill, but he won't find it in Westside. 2 kills so far in this game, and now he's just doubled up. Backside hold is successful. Loon's walking around, spotted as Westside gets his triple. That should be the round. Done and dusted. And indeed, with it, the half. It's only one man. Sociable, don't you dare. Don't you dare, Sociable. Good. The shot better than the blade. And the ult's still there to play with. 4 shots, 3 opponents to take down. And a quick fire rate, it is doable, but it's Purpo on the angle to close this out.
7-1'dan 7-5.
For that man in particular.
Peki.
Oh yeah, for sure. It has been one of the major turning points, and that seems to be the thing for GX. They might start a little bit slow. It might look like they're already out of it, but at any point they can turn it around. There's still a second half to come. We'll be back.
Görmedim de öyle bir şey imkansız abi. Şu ilk roundu çözmemiz lazım. Eyvallah Oğuz. Eyvallah Oğuz. Teşekkürler canım.
They've got the lead, but only by 2 as GX crept up on them. And well, it seems to be a little bit of a theme of this series, right? Someone takes the lead, come up to halftime, they're either 2 rounds in the difference or neck and neck. A nice close game. Difficult to separate these teams. We've had to have 5 halves of gameplay so far. Now for one more. I'm excited to see what's brought to the table, Tom, because a lot of the players that were having a slow start, having a tougher series, they're starting to pipe up.
Yeah, for sure. It's also interesting, though, because although for Loon, I kind of do expect aspects of this half to be a little bit harder, finding value in that Yoru. For Sociable, I almost feel the opposite. Like, this is where he can put himself in a position to just make things frustrating. Like, already taking full B control within the first 10 seconds of the round. Like, he would have been able to just teleport back if needed. The attack, though, similarly to their opponents, looking to try and hold on to that middle control.
Çok iyi duvar bu arada.
We saw this early on in the last half. We'll try and utilize that wall.
Vursan onu bak. Bak onu ne olur vur kanka. Bak ne olur kanka. İyisin, iyisin, olsun. Hadi.
Westside opening up a bit more space, but still on the site is Loon. Holding his ground for now, but a big challenge comes through, and it's Westside yet again. A good start here in the pistol round for this man.
Soshi geliyor. İyi yok. Ay çok iyi 2v2.
Back to a 2 versus 2. Post-plant positions and some util still for Tamazi.
That's what a lot of this map comes down to, holding on to those stars.
Soshi hadi oğlum.
The fact is though they have no backline hold. They have no idea that Sociable has gone all the way around. It's not pretty, and he doesn't connect the shots. It gives Tamazi a lifeline to try and hold on to this pistol. Up against Yumpy, but it'll be Yumpy to take things home. It is an important pistol for BBL. They'll extend that gap at least a little further.
Well, that's it so far. We've seen that scoreline crept up on most of the time, but BBL's position, their hands strengthened so much by this.
Ne oluyor lan? Kim bağırıyor öyle?
Putting it up to a 3 gap, but it's the fact that GX likely to take an eco here. Still some good signs. players like Westside, he had a really tough start over on the defensive side of this map, being
Aferin sana Yampi. Aferin sana.
And just losing those head-to-heads. But now, well, he's off to a flying start. He had a good round to close out the previous half. But they will need to dig that little bit deeper, or BBL may just run away with this. This is not a round we expect much contention in. GX should potentially get a couple of kills. And, you know, if we see that, Tom, every kill matters. Big investments from the side of BBL.
Güzel, orbu vermedik.
Cloud has got to be careful.
Çok iyi oğlum.
Flash
geliyor. Çok iyi lan.
In this half.
Oy!
I feel like this is where the
Son anda var ya o smoke müthişti.
In a sort of selfish way. Like when it comes to the
Tamam,
attack,
push'a gerek yok. Aynen öyle. Dilensinler.
Be put in awkward battles.
Çok iyi. Bravo. Tertemiz, tertemiz. 9-5. Hadi oğlum.
But this is where they need to start those streaks of rounds again. Bear in mind that, well, in the last map, what they were 12-8 down before managing to take it to overtime. It's possible. It's doable. I feel like they need to start doing it now and not lose another round to, well, maybe a sniper or two.
Çok iyi.
Well, that's it. You don't really want to put all your eggs in that basket, do you? For the side of GX, it's time to start to step it up before that lead goes a little bit too far. BBL, like you said, a couple of snipers, a few pieces of potential along with that. Sociable, delivering shot after shot. Loon with the Outlaw, slightly heavier investment. Going to make it much easier for his teammates to finish someone off if he does manage to land that early fight. 120 on the clock, and fights across the map. We've seen some mid control attempt. Well, some toying with mid.
Armor'ı da olacak şimdi. Oo. Yenilenen armor.
Taking that fight, grouped up, pushing into art together. The drone leads the way.
Yampim yapmaz mı ya burada güzel bir şey? Yampim yapmaz mı ya?
Waiting, and the aggression of Loon could be something that bites them in the back if he's able to hold on to it. The problem is it leaves back fairly isolated, only having a Spectre to play with, but with rotation slowly coming in, I was going to say maybe he has some support. It's not to be there. Loon is now dealt with, and in fact they are slaughtering the remaining BBL players. Only Sociable is anywhere near the action. I'm surprised he's still going with the sniper. I fully expected maybe a change. It doesn't matter though. Maybe that's
what the fuck?
Finds 3 in a matter of seconds. Ignore me. Use whatever gun you feel comfortable with.
Defuse starts. They have another piece of utility to stop it. The extra tap. They're going to swing straight into Sociable. He's landed another, and not quite taking the kill. But look at the ace.
Yes! Sociable!
The puzzle put together by this man.
Sen ne yapıyorsun? Sen bize ne izlettin kanka?
You didn't want to see them die to the sniper. I think he did it.
Şaka mı bu?
That wasn't even the best sniper they had.
Oh, the first ace
Sen ne yaptın?
Followed by the second ace. This is absurd. He's not using that gun in
Fred movie çekti.
which it was designed, but hey, I guess that's why he's not using the headhunter. That didn't land. But what an insane way to get home the 10th round. We talked about the youngsters within the team, but this man Sociable. Sue said on the desk, coming. He's got 19 kills at the moment.
Maç bitmedi. Maç bitmedi Soşi. İyisin oğlum, iyisin.
They made the joke in Pacific about Alex breaking the desk, and we almost got to see it happen in real life.
Gel beni de vur, gel beni de vur.
Going 3 kills. Eventually he's put to bed, but surely
sakin,
that's enough.
Sakin.
Job done.
Satma. 4-2.
And Tamazi left to pick up the pieces, and they've got to be wondering how we've ended up here so quickly, dispatched by that man Sociable.
Paraları yok.
In a row before he's dropped, and
I think he might have his ult.
11-5. No! Possibly. Had a couple kills, not a lot of deaths. All right. Double the score already, and it looks to get even worse with BBL making it up to 11. And look, the way that they lost that previous round, I won 6 replays back-to-back of just Pipson's face after every kill. After every kill that came in from that guy Sociable.
It needs to be like one of those like freeze phase.
Oh man. Well, I'll
Allah'ım
tell you what,
2025
that
yüzüstü
little taste of
hürmetine ya.
happiness Pipson had earlier, it didn't
Hadi mi
last
ya?
long.
It's got bad aftertaste.
Short-lived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it?
I think he followed it with a few courses of something he didn't like.
Something fishy? Like that's so rough. Like, not only losing around, but losing around like that. You're gonna have nightmares about it.
Durdum. Bir şey demiyorum. Bitmedi maç. Bir şey demiyorum. Hiçbir şey demiyorum.
And well, again, like you look at the pickups that have come through from BBL, and I'll be honest with you, they're not necessarily the ones that on paper you're going to be the most excited about. But we have already seen some utterly insane moments. Like, realistically, Prophet could have had about 4 aces in this series already. He's a 4K master, but I don't know if anybody's going to be topping that one for a while. That was so ridiculous.
No, I absolute zero faith that he was going to pick that up.
Let me get a Pipson cam, please.
Daha bu takıma Shiva ve Cengiz Ünder eklenecek. Cengiz Ünder de ya.
There we go. The rap god's out.
He's saying, don't worry guys, it's fine. Everything's going as planned. We're now going to win the remaining rounds in a row and close this one out 13-11. Love you, Bubs.
Yeah. He's saying this is actually weird.
That's actually his known saying, love you, Bubs. He says that whenever
he signs off.
Whenever I see him, that's what he says.
Oh, really? I'll check that out backstage. I'll follow him around.
Yeah.
We'll see if that's the case.
I'm going home after this.
For GX, it's not the best of positions either, Tom. I mean, he's going to have one hell of a rallying speech for them. They're coming into this 11-5 and a likely 12th for BBL, as we don't expect to see big investments from GX. They don't have a lot of credits. One rifle on runner we're seeing right now, and then
hadi abi bitirin maçı. Maç bitmeden sevinmek yok chat. Durun abi.
But in fact, they're keeping most of them for the next round. 12-5, 7
Paraları az.
in a row.
Bir tane vandalları var sadece. Bir tane.
I really like Waylander in that camera. It's sort of like when like your girlfriend or boyfriend starts having a go at the manager and he's just sat there looking like, oh, I just want to go home.
I didn't think the food was that cold.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine, honestly. I know I ordered a steak and I got fish, but I didn't even mind that much.
It's nice.
He gave him the side-eye for a second, like, okay. Oh dear. Sociable's got a
yanıyor. Yardım.
Run for the hills.
They didn't catch him. He's actually been able to set up for a second bite of the cherry. This is not going to be something that he relinquishes without a serious fight, especially with this ultimate. Chalked and ready to go.
Kaçıyorlar.
Don't want to challenge it. Move it in the other direction instead. Potential to make their way into spawn if they want to avoid Loon. That will be difficult. It's got a gate crash down for the A site and will be omnipresent.
Salsanıza site'e. Gidin dibine kadar gidin şuraya ya. Şuraya gidin ya. Şu adamı vurun Thomas'ı.
Having let them into the spawn potentially, they give up A instead pushing in to take control of main. This is a smart play so they at least have some control and an angle to fight for in the retake.
Yumpy. You think he's under pressure, but he has support.
Arka geldi.
If one sniper wasn't enough, oh dear. Yeah.
Enti yapacak bir şey yok. Güzel, site'e giremediler. 30 saniyeleri var. Gidemezler. Mecbur gelecekler. O Soshi de geldi. Hiç sıkıntı yok. Hiç sıkıntı yok. Chat dur. Dur yapma chat yapma dur. Helal.
I mean attempt to get into that site. 12 and 5. If 4 rounds in a row wasn't enough in the last map, it's a whole different ball game this time.
Oh yeah, I mean they're not even at the halfway mark. More than double the rounds held by their opponents. And BBL are about to come into a round with 3 ultis online. Sure, the same can be said for GX, but so far,
but they almost have all 5. Like it's a very realistic chance that they could use everything, but you still then have to string 6 rounds in a row with no ults. So it's one of those scenarios where it's like, okay, maybe we can win off ults in this round, but we can't do it next round.
It's a nasty little setup from Vac. Sociable still getting aggressive early, tanking a couple shots from the turret, hoping someone would peek him. Now that he's given away that the ult is here, you don't think they will. He had a chance right there.
Wrong button. If he clicked the other button, he's dead.
Well, thankfully he didn't, and GX
basamadı, harbi basamadı.
Well, keep the battlefield level.
This is already so much information. No one spotted outside.
Olur Profek, olur oğlum.
Prophet down, and if they can get into a close plant, that's going to make things quite a bit easier. Loon's actually going to. I thought he was going to stick it for a second.
Güzel tribe soktu. Büyük tribe soktu. Bak tribe bak.
Drone gone.
Yeah, I don't mind this though from the attack, looking to go back towards the A7. You've cleared that much ground, seen absolutely nothing. The expectation might be to rotate. In fact, it's the opposite. Loon is now re-pushing that angle again and checking, well, for double, that it's still clear.
Interesting that they are moving towards the B side. After seeing that A aggression was cancelled and the players went back, you'd maybe think that the stack is going to be on the other side. But as
Soshi geldi reis. Geldi reis geldi.
BBL have stacked A.
Oy! Neler yapıyorsun bize, neler izletiyorsun?
A lone ranger, but he lands his shot with precision.
Ananı sikeyim. Kulağını sıyırdı ha.
Still, a 3v2. Look at the spike.
Beyler.
Cloud finding that kill is huge. He was on 30 HP. He's got the spike.
Güzel. 2v1. Ultisi var Yampi'nin. Yampi'nin ultisi var 30 can.
But with just 30 HP and Yumpy hot on his heels. It's the shock dart out. And it won't land the kill. But Hunter's
ne yapıyor? Bitti ki.
BBL 13-5, a close series on map 1 and 2.
Cloud'u görüyor musun? Hala nasıl kill peşinde. Helal lan size. Bravo be. Sezonun ilk maçı 2. Oh, Soshi. Soshi. Büyük adamsın. Büyük adamsın. Helal olsun. Müthiş oynadı abi. Hepsi Profek, Lev, Yampi, Vak. Elinize sağlık. Bravo. Oh.
Profek showed it in the last 2 maps. He was massively impressive, but let's be real. It was Sociable who stole the show at the end. That chamber operator is something, well, not even the operator, Marshall. It's going to give nightmares to every single player on GX for the foreseeable future. What a statement to start off this season.
Vak takıma alışsın diye takım 3. map'e götürdü, sakin diyen var. İyisiniz, çok iyisiniz, çok iyisiniz. Bravo, bravo.